Hi, this is Julia Johnson, and this is my response for the ideal school activity. I want to talk about this in three domains. First, community, then accessibility, and then instruction. So first for community, I think that a school functions the best when every person feels like they are a part of a larger community, where students, teachers, parents, everyone who's associated with the school feels like they belong there, because they do, and because they are actively engaged in the culture of the school, and the way that the instruction and the culture is designed so as to support all the learners. So teachers are on the same page with each other about what the school is supposed to look like. Students and families have bought into the idea of the school, and then administration supports that and works to improve it. That addresses the issue of having a safe place. A community is by definition a safe place for those learners and for those people. And it's a place where difference is embraced, and ideas from all different perspectives can come together to join together to be something really beautiful, which I think is so important to build community in a school system. Secondly, accessibility. So everyone should be able to access every part of the school, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally. It's so important that students are able to be in the same space as each other, and not feel like they are the odd one out or left out. And that comes back to the idea of community, but it's also addressed by accessibility, and not the least of which being the universal design for learning, which was discussed by Minnow and other authors that we've talked about as well. Having a school that everyone can easily navigate, not only having wheelchair accessible places, but also designing the school so that it makes sense to everyone who's walking in there. So signs on the walls that are easy for people who don't have good spatial awareness so they can get around the school, or those who get easily lost or anxious in a big space. Designing the school so that it flows naturally and makes sense with where students are located and what activities they're going to. Accessibility in terms of instruction, so differentiation is key. Teachers working together in co-taught settings so that all learners in those classes and those groups are able to access the material because the material has been designed with them in mind, and that also comes into instruction, which we'll talk about next. Parents having easy access to what's going on in the school, being able to participate in activities where it's appropriate, being invited into classroom time, and having teachers feel like they can share their resources with parents, and having the administration supply information and training in how to make things more accessible for all learners. And that also comes into instruction. So creating instruction that is truly research-based, evidence-based practices, using those as much as possible, and tailoring them to the learners, not just having whatever the teacher wants to make up and use as their own resources, but using actual scientifically tested and designed instruction to support the learners. In academics, as well as social emotional behavior and social emotional and behavior, excuse me, and is designing that so that it is the most effective and efficient system it can be. This could work for any school age range, so from pre-K to 8, pre-K to 6, pre-K to 5, pre-K to high school. The important pieces to me are making sure that every learner feels welcome, safe, appreciated, loved is more important, and like they can participate to the best of their extent, to the fullest extent possible in that school system, and that teachers are supported by the administration, and the administration is actively involved in creating the school culture. So that's just a quick overview of what I think would be an ideal school system. talking about an adhocracy also, which I was going to mention earlier, but an adhocracy, a adhocratic structure for creating the instruction, and making it so that all teachers feel like they have an equal share in creating the instruction and culture of the school, which then will also create a better community. So that's my ideal form. I don't think there are any specifics that I can get into necessarily, because it's so dependent on what the individuals who are in the school like, and what they look like, and what they where they come from. But ultimately, communication, accessibility, community, accessibility, and instruction are my three most important things. Thanks.